welcome back to the channel. Well, we have good news and we have bad news. Many of you all may have heard of this by now, but I wanted to chime in on this. The good news is the fact that they are halting evictions. So the eviction moratorium is going to be extended, but the bad news is that it is only temporary, and they're not adding a whole lot more time on there. But that being said, some time is better than no time. So this gives you another little stretch to do some things and figure some things out. Now, this is not just for renters, but also for people who may have lost their homes to foreclosure. So this is somewhat good news. Okay. Now, that being said, also, I think it's very important that you understand what is at stake here. They are attaching this, it seems to me that they are attaching this to stopping the spread of COVID, this new Delta variant that's out here. It seems to be attaching it to that. So I want you to take a listen at some of the reporting on this, and I will be right back.
The Center for Disease Control and Prevention on Tuesday extended the eviction moratorium for 60 days, a move that risks being challenged in court and one that President Joe Biden admits may not be constitutional. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky signed an order that determined the evictions of tenants for failure to make rent or housing payments could be detrimental to public health control measures to slow the spread of COVID, the agency announced. The order expands the eviction moratorium until October 3 and applies to counties experiencing substantial and high levels of COVID transmission. The order will allow more time to further increase vaccination rates, the CDC said, calling it an effective public health measure. This moratorium is the right thing to do to keep people in their homes and out of congregate settings where COVID-19 spreads, Walensky said. Such mass evictions and the attendant public health consequences would be very difficult to reverse. It will cover about 90% of renters in the country, White House officials said. President Joe Biden was under intense pressure from the liberal wing of his party to do something to help renters suffering under the pandemic. The White House had pushed the issue to Congress and the states after deciding a June Supreme Court ruling prevented additional executive action. But Biden said Tuesday he had spoken to several constitutional scholars, and will see if the new announcement will pass constitutional muster. The bulk of the constitutional scholarship says that it's not likely to pass constitutional muster, number one. But there are several key scholars who think that it may, and it's worth the effort, he said. But, Biden noted, the order will probably give some additional time for rental assistance funds to flow. The Supreme Court would likely have to issue a new ruling on any new orders out of the CDC. Distribution of rental assistance that Congress allocated in December and March has been painfully slow. The $47 billion emergency rental assistance program has, to date, disbursed only $3 billion. But Democrats expressed hope the new order would buy time for that money to flow. This brand new moratorium will provide time for the money allocated by Congress to flow, as it helps stop the spread of the virus, which is worsening due to the Delta variant, and protects families and landlords, Speaker Nancy Pelosi said in a statement. The announcement came as the feud among Democrats over what to do about the eviction moratorium escalated on Tuesday when Pelosi refused to bring back Congress to vote on the matter. Pelosi ruled out that option despite President Biden calling on Congress to extend the moratorium and Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez calling her fellow lawmakers cowards for refusing to vote on the issue. On a call with House Democrats Tuesday, where Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen spoke with lawmakers, Pelosi made her stance clear. She said the House should not come back from its recess, and that lawmakers should focus on urging the Biden administration to extend the moratorium unilaterally, The Washington Post reported. Pelosi's strong stance came after Ocasio-Cortez told Politico her fellow Democratic House members are cowards who needed to come back into town and put their names next to a yes or no vote, or the White House needs to do a damn thing about eviction moratoriums. Other liberal lawmakers joined in on the pressure campaign on the White House. Democratic Representative Cori Bush has led a sleepout on the front steps of the Capitol building to protest the matter. Bush praised the decision and credited the protest for the new CDC order. On Friday night, I came to the Capitol with my chair. I refused to accept that Congress could leave for vacation while 11 million people faced eviction. For 5 days, we've been out here, demanding that our government acts to save lives. Today, our movement moved mountains, she wrote on Twitter on Tuesday. Any legislation addressing the eviction moratorium passed in the House would likely fail in the Senate. Democrats would need 10 Republicans to vote with them, and GOP lawmakers oppose extending the moratorium. President Biden on Monday pleaded with landlords to hold off evictions for the next 30 days as his administration sought ways to extend a moratorium after Congress failed to do so. The federal eviction moratorium was put in place by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in November. A June ruling by the Supreme Court led administration officials to concede the agency could not do so again. In Monday's statement, Biden called on states and localities to extend or put in place evictions moratoria for at the least the next 2 months and for landlords to give a 30-day break. He directed federal agencies to extend all the moratorium they were allowed to do. The administration also called on states to speed up issuing housing funds allocated through the American Rescue Plan. More than 15 million people live in households that owe as much as $20 billion to their landlords, according to the Aspen Institute. As of July 5, roughly 3.6 million people in the U.S. said they faced eviction in the next 2 months, according to the U.S. Census Bureau's Household Pulse survey. The speaker put the onus back on President Biden's administration after the House failed to pass an extension. Biden asked Congress to extend the moratorium after officials decided the Supreme Court's June ruling meant the CDC couldn't unilaterally extend it. The purpose of the extension is to provide more time to expedite the distribution of the $46 billion that was allocated by Congress and that has long been transferred by the administration to the states and localities, Pelosi said in a letter to Democrats on Monday. Some Democrats expressed frustration that Biden asked Congress to extend the moratorium 2 days before it was set to expire, even though the Supreme Court ruling had come down a month before in June.
Okay, what I would say in all of this is use your time wisely. Even though they are giving this extension, this is the time to make some moves that are going to get you in a better situation. And I know that it's easier said than done with all that is happening. And we don't know if another major shutdown is going to happen where across the board, a lot of businesses are going to be forced to be closed. Right now, we do see where some businesses are saying, look, wear your mask or you can't be served. Some businesses are actually saying that you can't be served without vaccination. And so it depends on where you're located and how serious things are. Nonetheless, this is some time that you're being given to get your house in order. We're hearing so much happening during this pandemic that you can no longer ignore the handwriting on the wall. Things are very serious, as they have been for more than a year now, a year and a half, I'd say. It is time to get your house in order. But many of us have been sounding the alarm for a very long time, not knowing exactly what was going to transpire first, but we knew that some things were going to happen. The Bible tells us that perilous times are going to come. So now perilous times are here. And so we're going to start to see more and more happening as a result of this, natural disasters and all kinds of other things that we have no idea what is coming, right? Meaning we don't know what the next phase of everything is, right? We can only guesstimate based on prophecy and based on things that we see in the climate, but we definitely know that playtime is over. It's been over, right? That being said, it is time to open up your eyes, especially for those who I would consider sleepers. I still see a lot of sleepers out here, people who are saying, oh, that first wave passed. Let me go back to my La La Land activities. Let me just forget about my troubles for a minute because I'm out here having fun again, not making any type of preparations. You have those who are literally sitting around waiting for others to make moves before they do anything. And you definitely don't want to sit in the seat of do nothing. This is not the time for that. So I'm done with this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Until next time. We hope you liked today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it like this video, and with that, we're out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.